And now, a word from
Infirmary Media.
It's time for Blumpkin and Friends, starring your host, the Reverend Johnny Blumpkin. Shut up!
Hey kids, I'm the Reverend Johnny Blumpkin, and with me here today is my friend,
Graeme of ITradio, aka Weird Cookie.
and he is back to talk about his days in the wrestling business with some stories from the road.
Sure. And shit.
I don't really know anything about what you're going to talk about. Something about Mountain Dew, something about a broom. I don't fucking know.
The broom was talked about. That was the quarter mile, one way, having to run another quarter mile, and then another quarter mile to actually get to the car. The broom that made it back to the car, and then I just threw it out for no reason.
Okay, I don't remember ever hearing about that, but...
We were rocking out to Marilyn Manson in the car on 94 stuck, and it was Horace, Bonnie, and I, aka Rain, and sitting there in stop and go traffic, I saw a broom on the side of the road. Hey, I should fucking go get that broom.
What?
Yeah, you should get it. No, fuck that. It's like 80 degrees out in the middle of May. No, I'm not going to get it. No, you should really go get it. And it's still dead. I was like, fuck it. Jumped out of the car, quarter mile, past the broom, ran back, and as soon as I got out of the car, traffic picked up, and they stopped a quarter mile there, so I had to run pretty much...
A half a mile?
No, half a mile, and then another quarter mile to a half a mile.
Oh.
So, yeah.
So a mile.
Yeah, that was the first time I ran the mile in like 6 years, because I got out of it because of my knee for gym. It was awesome.
So all because you had some weird ADD moment about a broom.
Yeah, because we were sitting there listening to Marilyn Manson. It was downtime, and looked out. I was like, oh, there's a broom on the side of the road. And I almost lit it on fire, too.
So is this on the way to a show or the way back?
On the way to training in Eau Claire. So there wasn't even a show. We went out there on a Friday night. We came back on a Saturday.
Training,
yeah.
For AAW?
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
that makes sense, because Wisconsin. Last time we talked about this, in your early days in there, you talked about AAW.
Yes, AAW. No, with the stuff later on, there really wasn't much road trip going to and from Rogers.
Right. All right, pack some snacks. We got that long 25-minute drive out to a barn that says MPW on the outside.
Pretty much. I mean, there would be boring shit. Like, pretty much the road stories were us being either backstage trying to entertain ourselves because you're sitting there for 6 fucking hours, if not more.
Jesus Christ, you have enough notes that there's shit on the other side, too?
What was the shit on the other side? Oh, that was shit that I remembered right before I left.
Oh. So
it's really sad that I forgot what I had written last before. The other stuff I wrote was at work.
Mountain Dew spill. Ready, go.
All right, so this is Sean's Bases Loaded in Wausau, Wisconsin. And this was our second home because we had good fans there. We were probably there at least once or twice a month, and Eau Claire once or twice a month.
For AAW?
Yep.
Okay.
And so these fans brought me 20 ounce of Mountain Dew because my whole gimmick outside of wrestling and going to the shows, if you want a road trip, we'd be stopping at Quick Trips because they're like every other block when you go to major towns, more than 500 people.
Didn't you say Eau Claire had 4 quick trips within like a certain amount of space?
There's like 15 now.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Like every time you blink, Quick Trips go up in like two minutes now. So I show up and the hot dogs and Mountain Dew thing, Mountain Dew because I could drink like 8 of them a day and still go to sleep. And then no problem.
How do you not have stomach cancer? Jesus.
When you're 19 years old and you've got metabolism like no other, and you're 140 pounds.
Go to hell.
Yeah.
I had to give up pop just to lose weight because I turned into a fatty.
And
you're drinking it like it's fucking water.
So Quick Trip used to sell 3 for $1 hot dogs, and they weren't the big fat hot dogs that Quick Trip has now. 3 for my ex-roommate, ex-friend, whatever, called it the Rockstar meal. Not so much the Mountain Dew, but it was the Oscar Mayer Wiener fucking like thin hot dogs. And they had them on the roller grill, and we'd get 3 for...
It's a hell of a gesture you just made there.
Yeah.
You're fucking just slamming a balloon animal cock into your mouth. Go on.
Yeah, so I would get the 3 for $1 hot dogs, and usually we'd always stop at the Quick Trip. That's what I would get. I'd get the Mountain Dews, and we'd show up. Well, at this one wrestling show in Sean's Bases Loaded, which was connected to a bar, it was like one of the sports, like indoor sports pavilion things for like indoor volleyball. If that makes sense. I don't know what the fuck it's called. So it was in there, and fans brought 20-ounce Mountain Dew. And our dressing room, off topic, but it comes up to another story. It was the back of the U-Haul truck, which to fit a ring, you didn't need that big of a U-Haul, but that's where you'd have 20 guys to hang out in this U-Haul truck while this show was on. So that night, Kamikaze Klecker, who used to be in Minnesota, not Kamikaze Klecker, that's fucking Yore shit. Kamikaze Ken.
Okay. Ken Anderson, a.k.a. Ken Kennedy.
No. Different Ken.
What the fuck?
They all wrestled at right around the same time. Not Clucker, but Ken Kennedy or Ken Anderson and Kamikaze Ken. So, and they were all friends with Horace. So these fans, backstory before the Mountain Dew. So Jim Gagne, owner of AAW, had a gimmick truck, and in his gimmick truck gimmick bin, whatever, he had a blonde wig. Okay. And Kamikaze Ken was like, we're just sitting there because we have to entertain ourselves. We're going through it at every show. Even though it never changes, we're going through it. And we're like, let's just fucking do this shit. Because Horace and I would always, after the match, have like a fucking dance-off, whatever, for like 5 minutes. Because you couldn't have a Horace match without him fucking around for 5 minutes.
Right.
Even without Weird Cookie being there. So we'd always have, Horace and I would be dancing to whatever theme, intro music, outro music we were doing. And so we're like, yeah, you should just sit in the crowd for the match. It almost looked like he looked like Kurt Cobain with the blonde wig because he's just sitting there. And I think he had a flannel shirt on too.
Horace?
No, Kamikaze Ken.
Okay.
Because I'm managing Horace.
Right.
So this is, I think, the match where I said, he asked me if I knew the spots for my match. Coming out, and the main fans that were huge Weird Cookie fans hand me Mountain Dew. And I open it and put it on the side of the ring. Well, I didn't close it, and it fell. So it fell all over the side of the ring.
Like on the apron?
No, on the ground. So it's, remember, this is the indoor volleyball court.
Right.
And one of the security guards thought it'd be a great idea during the intro to try to mop this up.
What a dickhole.
But it made for awesome fucking laughter afterwards. I think at one point I was running around the ring. I slipped on it.
Oh,
because
Jesus Christ.
He didn't.
On purpose?
No, because I completely didn't.
Oh, that's even better then.
Yeah, so I slipped, but I made it enough to not really hurt myself. I just played it off as, oh, this is Weird Cookie. He fucking slipped, whatever. So I started out the match. Was about to tie up with Angel Armani, and then Ryan Rogue's music starts, and he was the secret tag partner with Horace. And so he runs out, and he slips on it, but he slipped just enough to slide into the ring. If that makes sense.
Like he caught himself so he could dive under. Not like Big E Langston who comes running down the ramp for the Royal Rumble and then he fucking trips and slides under the ring.
No, that was Big E. That was fucking Titus O'Neil.
Was it?
Yeah.
I can't keep the black guys in WWE
No,
separate
Titus.
in my mind.
No, because he would have had pancakes. But he slid, like he almost biffed it, like, but it wasn't. He caught himself on the rope and he was able to use his momentum from slipping to kind of slide like on his back into the ring. And so he slips. We caught it, but it wasn't that big of a deal. But I had already slipped. Ryan Rogue slips. We win the match. We're all dancing. So Kamikaze Ken is sitting in the crowd, and the whole gimmick was we were going to have Kamikaze Ken, and we never had crowd members come into the ring and dance. So we see him, we're like, oh yeah. And Jim Gagne, he said he's watching Jim Gagne out of the corner of his eye, and Jim Gagne knows something's up. He's like, what the fuck's this guy gonna do? So like, yeah, come on in. Well, he ran into where the Mountain Dew was, not on purpose. But it made it perfect because he's a crowd member. Right. So
and you're air quoting crowd member, obviously, because he's, kayfabe.
And because we needed to entertain ourselves. He runs into the Mountain Dew, slips, hits the side of the ring, and falls and plays it off but he was fine. But so Horace and I at this point are starting to crack up because we already are. This guy's pissing off Jim because he's getting in the ring. Since Jim doesn't know what's going on, he tells the security guard, even though we're the ones that told him to get into the ring, tells the security guard to get this guy out of the ring. So this security guard's probably like 250 and definitely not in shape. So he's hightailing it for a 250 out of shape guy. He hits his own fucking mess that he created. If he just left a little bit of Mountain Dew, and instead of spreading this out with water and sugar and everything else, hello ants later, he runs into it going however fast a 250-pound guy can go into, ribs first into the side of the ring, and biffs it. Horace and I fall on the ground laughing. At this point, the cat's out of the bag. Horace and I just lose it. Fucking Kamikaze Ken, a.k.a. Kurt Cobain, runs off out through the front and takes the wig off. And I don't think Jim Gagne ever had a clue that it was Kamikaze Ken.
Buddy, shut the fuck up!
And so we're laughing because this dude that created this own mess runs in, creates this problem, and it's just entertaining to us. We didn't care that he hurt himself. After the show, that they picked up Taco Bell because Horace and I were assholes, and we're like, oh sweet, you guys got food? Yeah, here. We got one of the 12-pack whatevers of tacos. Yeah, so I slipped on the Mountain Dew and I think I cracked a couple ribs. And we're trying to sit there not laughing because we're still cracking up that this dude created this mess and ran into the ring.
It's own fucking fault. That's karma, bitch.
Yep. It's one of those, half the shit's the stuff that you had to be there for, but that at least was entertaining to us.
At least it sounds funny. You get just a number of people slipping on a puddle that should never have happened because you couldn't fucking twist a cap on a 20-ounce a little bit harder.
When it fell, it may have popped off too. I have no idea.
No, it's all on you.
Yeah, it is all on me. I don't give a shit. I was really cooking. I was technically untouchable because I was the webmaster. So I could do no wrong, and I was usually main eventing, so it really didn't matter. So.
Oh, well, I'm glad to see that your success and leverage didn't go right to your head.
No. Even though I know I said the last time we'd rather be the first because then we didn't have to sit around for 2.5 hours. At least it wasn't like IWA shows for 6 hours.
What is this next one? St. Cloud Superman.
So after I left, it was the Tribute to the Troops episode or show in St. Cloud. It was, I think it was put on by Terry Fox. Terry Fox is bald, by the way. I think it was MIW.
Matters, but okay.
There was a first half show back when MIW was running. Was it? Yeah, MIW. Whatever Terry Fox and Eddie Sharkey's gimmick was, I don't remember. And Nick Mondo and I are sitting side of the ring. And he wasn't wrestling, or if he was already done. But I'm sitting first row. It's getting the end of the show, and he's like, dude, tell Terry Fox he's bald. Because Terry Fox is reffing.
Okay. So does that piss him off?
It eventually did, because it was never said up until Graeme in the crowd goes, "Hey, Fox, you're bald!"
Did you say it all fucking Mickey Mouse-like, just like that? Like you were waiting for your nuts to drop? Or
No. But it was just, "Hey, Fox, you're bald!" Didn't matter if it was a dead spot, it was a rest hold, whatever.
Okay.
No one... there's just this guy yelling at the ref telling him that he's bald. And then it just became my gimmick that every MIW show at First Ave, I yelled that Terry Fox is bald. Even if Terry Fox wasn't reffing yet. Oh, yep, Weird Cookie's here. Oh, awesome. So it was Bonnie, Lacey, and Horace. And we get in my van that my parents gave me, Chevy Lumina van. Hey, it made it down to New Orleans and back and wrestling shows. Could fit a shit ton of people in it. We get up to St. Cloud and get to the Dairy Queen, and there is the St. Cloud Superman in full Superman garb with the abs.
I don't know what that is.
It was this just random dude that would save, and I guess he was a big pervert too, but would save...
Interesting wrinkle.
St. Cloud, and he'd just sit on the stand. He had no reason to be out there. He would just stand on the corner and wave to people. He wasn't all there at all.
In a fucking Superman costume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he was known as the St. Cloud Superman. We also saw him at the State Fair a year later, too.
That's good, because it says here 1 year later, State Fair.
Yeah, so we saw him, but Bonnie and Lacey and I would, especially Bonnie and Lacey, would always film their road trips. And so Horace and I get out of the car, and because Horace is bald, I never said that he was bald during the matches, but that was before I told Terry Fox that he was bald. Horace goes up to him, and he's complete in character as Superman. Oh yeah, you look just like Lex Luthor. And one of those gimmicks, and that you had to be there, but there's this fucking Superman gimmick, because we were going to just fuck around that entire show. Who gives a shit that it's tribute to the troops after 9/11? Well, we gave a shit, but
who fucking cares about the military post 9/11?
Weird
Jesus.
Cookie is back. At least I managed that night, just for the hell of it. We also fucked around at the St. Cloud Mall. Got in trouble at Sears for playing lightsabers with hockey sticks and basketballs. But we were just fucking around. And we ditched, and this is before cell phones, and ditched Bonnie and Lacey and eventually found them. That same night, we also lit fireworks off between the Golf Dome in St. Cloud and the apartment buildings, and the cops were called, and they were looking for a guy in a red shirt. I was smart enough to realize that something might happen, so I took off my red button-up shirt and put my black shirt on instead. And they couldn't find the guy with the red shirt, because I was already inside. And
that sounds like small-town Mayberry shit right there. They couldn't even figure out that the assailant was still hanging out around the scene of the crime.
Pretty much.
He just changed clothes.
Yeah, they said they were looking for some guy that was lighting off fireworks.
What is Horace versus the Tire?
Also at Sean's Bases Loaded. So, because we have this small-ass trailer that fits 20 guys, they also had a baseball field out in one of the fields.
Uh-huh.
So Horace sees a Tire. We're bored. We're going on last. And Horace decides, no one's watching us. It's just Horace and I. He decides to have a match with a Tire in the middle of a baseball field that eventually goes out to the street in front of Sean's Bases Loaded.
As part of the show, or just for the fun of it in the moment?
Fun of it in the moment.
Okay, so it wasn't like he brought it into the arena.
It never made it to the arena.
Impromptly fucked up the whole aesthetic of the show, because it's like, well, Horace is a psychopath. Holy shit.
Nope, it never made it into the arena. It never made it to the quote-unquote locker room, aka U-Haul trailer. It made it around Sean's Bases Loaded, out into the one street that led up to Sean's Bases Loaded. At least 2 cars stopped because he was wrestling in the middle of the street with this large tire.
Mm-hmm.
Like almost a semi-tire size thing. And then he just leaves in the middle of the street. We walk off like nothing. Because we just did what we wanted to. And
was he in his ring garb at all?
Yeah.
Did he have the face paint?
So because our shit was on before the doors would open up. So he goes and he's wrestling this tire and nobody's watching us. And if at one point some of the wrestlers were watching us eventually make it back to the bar. But, yep, he just decides that, yep, he's elbow dropping it, he's suplexing it in the middle of the street, and then he got the pin on it, and we just left it in the middle of the street and we walk away.
See, that's one of those things before the days of everybody having a camera on their phone where you wish you would have had it on tape.
And we could have easily had it on video, but we needed to entertain ourselves.
What the fuck? Why wouldn't you record that for someday when you do a Best of Horse to Psychopath DVD and it makes it on as like an extra DVD bonus?
Because when the DVDs were just starting at that point, it was still VHS, man. It was still high 8s and 8mm and all that shit. But we didn't have, until my last show managing them, we didn't have a camera.
I don't know why, but because you just said 8mm, now my brain just came up with the phrase 8mm Peter. But it's not about a dick. So the title's deceiving. I'm going to write that fucking song now.
You're going to re-listen to this show. Yeah, I'm going to write that song, and then it's never going to happen. No, it's going to fucking happen, dude.
You know I deliver on most of my promises. Just because I still have not yet put out the Billy Joel Uptown Girl parody, Downtown Girl.
Nice. So also on the list is Frisbees at Sean's. I'd always have a Frisbee on me. Just for shits and giggles, because we had nothing else better to do. So we get there before the show, and at this time I've already paid my dues. I've put up the ring, I've taken down the ring, I've put the ring back at the training place, whatever. And so all the security guards, the ones that we'd always piss off, had all the... Nice. They had all the chairs for the front row section.
There's my fart. I'm not taking it out. I'm not going to edit the fart out. Go on.
I never edited the farts. I'd try to make it to the microphone. That's what you should have done, was turned around. I would have been pissed because you farted in my face, but...
It wouldn't have had the same sound because I'm sitting on a wood chair with my ass compressed.
Bethany's dad taught him how to fart in the kitchen chairs. And
I'm aware. I know. I'm watching. We're almost done. Come downstairs and get your fucking skating bag.
It's already up here.
Okay.
And Subway chairs, the old school Subway chairs, were awesome for farting in too. So Jim, they had all the ring stuff set up, and Horace and I decided that we were going to start playing Frisbee indoors and launching it into the chairs, which wasn't just, it was like the folding, unfortunately, they were the plastic chairs and not the metal chairs. And he'd launch it in, and so I'd purposely fly into the chairs, and they'd fuck them all up. And then all of a sudden, the security guards just come over, fix everything up, and we'd do it again. And again.
The more you interrupt, the longer this is going to take. Get your ass upstairs.
Hurry up.
You don't have to be there till 6:40.
Yeah, it's going to start pretty soon.
Yeah, it's 6:20. We got 20 fucking minutes till you got to be on the ice. Go upstairs, change your diaper.
Okay.
Fucking kids.
So no, we would launch the Frisbee into the chairs, fuck them all up. Jim Gagnon would get pissed. He'd like, guys, knock it off. And he'd get distracted with something. They'd have all the chairs lined up. All right, do it again. And because we needed to entertain ourselves. And the security guards, they'd get pissed, but they couldn't say anything to us.
Because they were security guards.
Because they weren't all there. This was the same security guards that would wipe up Mountain Dew, and then people would run into it, including themselves, and break ribs.
You know what I would have done with the Mountain Dew? Poured a little bit of water on it, laid down newspaper. Let the paper do the work for you. And it's quite obvious that something happened because there's a pile of fucking newspapers opened up, like in Frankenstein throwing up on the floor.
That would be good. Yeah, sure. Shit.
Like, who's housebreaking a fucking puppy next to the ring? I don't know, but it smells like Mountain Dew in here. Get in the goddamn ring, shut up.
All right. Well, I know you've got shit that you got to do.
Oh, no. Was that the end of the story?
For the Frisbee, yeah.
Hi. Jesse Ventura here for UPS. And I'd like to take a few moments to tell you about some of their services. They offer time-definite and day-definite delivery for when you need it there at a specific time. Oh, God. Domestic, international, and freight shipping. for all of your mailing needs. Oh, God, tacos. Visit UPS.com to view our service guide. UPS. Oh, God. Oh, what can Brown do for you?
Hello there. When you hear my voice, what do you picture? If you said a 5'6" tall ball of rage, then you'd be correct. You see, I used to have a major issue with anger, but then I found Tom Finkelbottom's Smashatorium. 10,000 square feet of warehouse filled with all types of things that you can destroy so you can get the rage out in a healthy and constructive way. No need to drink away the pain, then go over to your ex-wife's house and throw rocks at her windows. No more hate fucking the cushions of your couch because the girlfriend you've spent 5 years with won't sleep with you until she gets an engagement ring.
You should just fucking smile and blow me, 'cause I deserve it.
And don't bother bottling up the maelstrom inside you because your adult children got arrested for selling their bodies again. Proper protective equipment is provided, and they even clean up the broken bits of glass and plastic for you so you can get back to being the moderately successful bastard of a one-night stand that you hope to become. That's Tom Finkelbottom's Smashatorium, 1 block south of our beloved Redeemer's battered Wilman shelter on Medicine Lake Boulevard in Plymouth. Come unleash
The beast.
today.
What up, Ninja? You're listening to Blumpkin and Friends.
We've reached the point of the show when it's time to play a game. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Blumpkin and Friends proudly brings to you the Rock, Paper, Scissors Intercontinental Championship Challenge Championship of the World! My phone went off while you were talking about Mountain Dews and hot dogs and Frisbees and tire matches.
Yeah.
So, Neil got back to me.
So it's another RPS challenge.
So you'll be playing another RPS challenge,
But
this
I'm the
time
winner.
against Neil. That's fine. That's fine. I'm just
But I'm just
feeding
saying,
you.
I'm the winner. I'm already the winner from the last show. Unless they're out of order, then I'm not the winner.
Yeah, this one will be after.
Okay, so I'm the winner.
Last time. This is a new one.
So this is all...
So
I have to pretend that the last
I
episode didn't even happen?
No, I sent out 2 people's requests to give me hands.
Yeah.
The first one beat the other one to the punch,
But
so
they
that's why
don't
you went against
realize-
it.
They don't know that.
Why are you fucking this up? We're
You're
under a
fucking
time
up.
crunch, and you're sitting here making me explain all these goddamn maths.
You could have just gone with it, and you're the one that's fucking it all up.
Can you, shut up?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall of 5 hands.
I created podcast RPS.
And is an RPS exhibition match between Graeme of ITradio, the man who wears shorts year-round and legs are still oddly pink, and Neil, who's world famous for just going paper, 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 and rolling the dice.
Thanks for letting me know. Again,
Well, I'm not going to give away his hands. He didn't do it this
when I
time.
was negative 40 to 60.
Yeah.
I just had long socks on.
Yeah.
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 And then I take the long socks off at work. My new job, first day at work, they knew I was coming in shorts.
That's good for them.
Mm-hmm. In the middle of January.
Hand number 1.
Scissors. I don't even know why you're looking.
I had to memorize it. You said scissors. He went paper. That's a point for you.
Sweet.
Hand number 2.
Rock.
You went rock. He went rock. No point. Man, she is really making that baby cry upstairs. Jesus Christ, she's bad at diaper changes. Hand number 3.
Scissors.
You went scissors. You went rock. So we're tied 1-1. 3 hands in. We're going to hand number 4.
Skizzos.
You went skizzers. He went paper. So you're back to a 1-point lead. I like how this is going for you. We'll see if you can bring it home. Hand number 5.
What hand haven't I thrown?
I don't know.
Rock. No, I've already thrown rock. Fucking paper.
You went paper. He went rock. Oh, that's another victory for you.
You win.
That's like automatic. Then I should be the champion, but I'm not the champion because
You got to earn your way to title shots, Mr. Multiple-time former champion, who I'm just holding at bay. If I did it like the format of your show, then every episode we could have a new champion, and that sounds exhausting.
I forgot I had water again.
Jesus fucking Christ. Well, there goes the mystique of this being recorded on different days. So he's referencing things from the last episode he was on.
But you could have made it sound like, wait, he had water the last episode and you forgot that he
No,
had water this time.
I don't have time for that shit. I got to get a kid to figure skating practice.
Yo! You about done? Tick-tock, motherfucker!
Interact with the show on Twitter at Blumpkin Show. That is at Blumpkin Show. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/Blumpkin and friends. We are on iTunes and on Podbean at blumpkinshow.podbean.com. For original songs, go to soundcloud.com/BlumpkinMusic.
Were you trying to fart?
No.
No.
And for shows on the same podcast network, go to infirmary.org for Infirmary Media Podcasts. I'm the Reverend Johnny Blumpkin.
I'm Weird Cookie, a.k.a. Graeme of ITradio.
Good night.